want to ask one final question to you, Kiran, on this subject. But before that, I want to ask you, Kiran Bedi, since you're so experienced in this regard. These cops have now been suspended. What will happen, Kiran Bedi? They'll come back in 2 weeks. They'll do this again.
I think they should. I think such cases should go under 311(2), which means they should get out of the system under 311(2) of the Indian Constitution as threat to the security of state. To my mind, such cops are not reliable. We need to start weeding out such irresponsible, insensitive cops. While we do that, we must also hit at the root cause of these problems. And we never have annual perceptual surveys. In fact, such a mind needs to be psychologically tested, psychiatrically tested. Why did he do it?
Yeah,
what is the reason he did it?
Oh, yeah.
Is he mentally not sound?
Oh,
so such people are not reliable. They should go under 311(2) of the Indian Constitution. Yeah. Let them go and challenge this decision in the Supreme Court of India for the next few years. And by the time, I think the message will be louder and clearer.
Kiran Gera, you think Mayawati would have had a press conference with this report and not been shown on TV so much?
Yeah, I think that's what I have to say. I have another point to make, that as our organization FLOW worked with the Bombay Police 2 years ago, and we found out some very horrifying details about how the police is, in what shape it is. Their resources are really stretched. They don't even have basic facilities. Like the women policemen, have to share the toilets with the male policemen, and they were hugely stressed. And we conducted for about 5 months de-stressing exercises and de-stressing with about 800 or 900 policemen of Bombay, which I think was very, very, it was welcomed by them. But as an ordinary citizen, we were amazed at the kind of resources that they had, which was almost nothing. So we cannot, put under the carpet the fact, the points that Mrs. Bedi is, putting forth, that they are hugely, hugely stretched. And what can we do? Because this will lead to what has happened. Though in this particular case, it's absolutely unforgivable. And as Mr. Mehta said, there's no way that this is to be permitted. Yep. So I'm only asking, as a citizen of this country, that, if I have a problem, and if this is happening at police stations, as a woman, I don't want to go. So where do I go if I have an issue? Where do I have if I have a problem, if I need protection, if I need to file a complaint, where do I go? Am I safe? Just because they are desensitized, what happens to me and to other citizens of this country?
Absolutely. As someone says, this could happen to anyone's child. Imagine, she could be anyone's child. Only she's poor and she cannot defend herself. That's why she's going through this. Kajol, finally, I think the point that you made is getting so much resonance among all our panelists today. That you have to be empathetic to the situation of the police, while at the same time, reacting and making sure a problem like this does not happen. You're still hopeful, Kajol, that you can change things?
I think, yes, after the terrorist attack, we all got together, you're changing systems and policies, you're working, it has to be a national consciousness. The knee-jerk effect of doing it in one corner of the nation, doing it in one system is not going to work, Arnob. Okay. And having been in the system, maybe I'm a little bit more cynical and at the same time a little bit more optimistic, because you see both kinds. You see the desensitized policeman and you see the highly sensitized person who comes in. And sometimes they're just merely ignorant. And as Kiran Bedi says, under-resourced, understaffed. Not to justify their action, that has to be taken in. But please let us look at the larger kind of dimension. And we have to push, as citizens' consciousness, the politics of it all. Push that allocation ultimately is needed if you really want to change systems.
Absolutely.
It cannot be without all of that. And I think media plays a vigilante role, and thank you, Arnav, for doing that.
Kajol, that's our job. Please don't thank us. That's our job. We'll follow that story. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us.